So welcome, Craig Richards. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm a huge fan of yours. So it's an honor you joining me here today on the 618 Unboxing podcast. So before we get into some questions that I have for you, we're going to play a little game. How good are you at games?
I'm all right. I usually win, but I'm all right.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to give you the names of a few boxers, and I'm going to ask that you describe each boxer using only one word. Okay?
Okay.
So let's get started. So the first one is Dimitri Bivol.
Disciplined.
Okay, nice. Then we have second, Artur Beterbiev.
Strong.
Okay. Your third one is Anthony Yarde.
Good friend.
That's two words.
Friend.
Okay. Oh, okay. He's downgraded though from good friend to friend. Okay.
Oh, you downgraded from one word.
Number four, Joshua Buatsi.
I can only use one word, can't I?
Yeah.
Olympian.
Okay. Nice. And last but not least, number five, Callum Smith.
One word.
Tough one.
Good.
Good. Okay. Okay, great. Well, you got there. 5 out of 5. I think the last one was probably the hardest one for you to think of, but you got there in the end. Perfect. Okay, so before we go into boxing, let's get to know the boxer behind the gloves. Let's find out a little bit about Craig Richards.
Yes.
So firstly, I'm aware that you're of Jamaican descent.
Oh.
I think you're very proud of your heritage. So tell me a little bit about what it was like growing up in a Caribbean household.
It was good, it was a Jamaican household. Mum, dad, they took no rubbish. Mum, she had us on tried to keep us on a tight leash, tight rope.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun. A lot of family over, cousins, etc. When we was young.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to be strong characters in that. Everyone was big characters in the house, so you had to be strong characters.
Nice. Sounds like a lot of fun. Sounds like you've got a big family.
Yeah, and always good food.
Say that again?
And always good food.
Oh, I can imagine. Love Jamaican food. So do you visit Jamaica often, or?
Been there a couple of times. Was there for a while when I was young, and then also been there a few years back, but it's definitely something I want to do more often.
Nice. Did you go to, when I was there, people kept telling me to go to Margaritaville. Did you go there? I don't know.
When I was young, I was everywhere. We stayed a lot of family around everywhere, Ocho Rios, Country, Spanish Town, Clarendon, everywhere really when we was, and then last time I was there, I just went down to Negril. So different experience. Before I was staying with a lot of family, last time was tourist.
Yeah, when you get older, you can do more things, I suppose.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So as a youngster, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I always want to open, obviously every kid when they're young, footballer, then reality hits. And then I thought I'd open my own business. I thought maybe I'd be an accountant, open my own business. That's where I thought I was going to go with it.
Wow, okay. So your first passion was football and then you went into boxing. That's very interesting, actually. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was good as well.
Say that again?
I said I was good as well.
You were good?
Yeah.
Really? Do you have any evidence of this?
Check my Instagram. You've seen the goals, Celeste Park.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to check.
Crystal Palace's pitch.
I'm going to check later on. 10. And I'm going to rate you out of 10. So I hope it's good. Okay. And, speaking of family, I understand as well. You have a big sister who's very supportive of you. I've
Yeah.
seen her support on Instagram, and it seems like she's always rooting for you. Would you say that it's made a difference to you having that family that's really supportive of your
To
career,
be fair,
pushing
people
you
don't
in the
realize I've
direction?
actually got two sisters. Sometimes people think it's the
Oh,
same person there because they're a year apart.
really?
There's two of them.
What's
Yeah.
who? Okay. What's the age difference
So
between you
yeah.
all?
Say again.
What's the age difference between you all?
One's 2.5 older than me, one's 3.5 older than me. They're a year apart. Their
Right.
birthdays are 5 days apart from each other. So they're like
Wow.
exactly nearly a year apart.
Wow. So you're the youngest then?
I'm the youngest, yeah.
Lovely. So you're the apple of their eye, the spoiled one.
Come on. No, no, no.
I'm the youngest too, so we're in the same boat.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, then I'll let you you have the right to say that then.
Yeah. Okay. So I was going to ask you, if you were interested in any other sport, but of course you said that you were interested in football, and then you chose to go down the pathway of boxing. But okay, so
I
do you
was
support
actually
any?
interested in all sports to be fair.
Oh, all sports.
When I was in
Okay.
primary school, I played every sport
Wow.
after school, a different sport every day, from football, rugby, cricket,
Really?
basketball. I had a different sport every day
Wow.
over the week.
So you
I
really
actually
could have
started
gone in
playing
any.
basketball at London Towers at Crystal
Oh.
Palace at one point, but
Mhm.
it clashed with my boxing days when I started boxing.
Right.
So I gave up basketball to do boxing.
Right. So you could have gone down any path, really. So you
Pretty
must have
much.
really
I was
loved.
quite sporty. I was that
Mhm.
kid in school who'd win the sports days.
Could you run? Can you? Are you fast?
Yeah, I'm fast runner, fast sprinter. The only time I'll get beat is
Okay.
in marathons or long runs. But
Same.
100 meters, 200 hill sprints, that's my thing.
Same. I was always good at sprinting, and in primary school, I was faster than the boys, so I could probably beat
Serious.
you.
I use
Yeah.
one of them fast ones.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So it's a wonder that I didn't actually become a sprinter, but yeah, maybe we'll race one day and I can show you.
Yeah. If I lose, I'll never show my face again.
So right, I'll say stick to football and boxing.
Oh,
Okay. So do you support a football team at all?
yeah.
Who?
Crystal Palace.
Oh, okay. It's not okay. I thought for some reason I thought you were going to say Manchester United. I don't know why.
No, no. I support my local team.
Oh,
My first job was at Crystal Palace as a steward.
right.
It
Nice.
was local to my area. It was in my area.
Mhm.
Also, and then yeah, just continued from there. And obviously, I got people I know play for the team,
Okay.
so it's just only right that I support my friends, support my local club. Yeah.
Nice, nice. So one day you should have a fight then, maybe in Crystal Palace. But
We
I'm just
spoke about. I spoke to the Palace a lot about that.
oh, really?
Maybe on the fight at Sellers Park one day, but I need to
That
get
would be
them big
exciting.
belts first.
Yeah, that would be exciting. Lovely. Okay, so I think we should end with a question as we're getting to know you for the ladies.
For the ladies,
So is Craig Richards on the market?
ah, I like that one. She was, she said you're gonna empty all your dirty laundry out in the street.
I think there might be some people that want to know. I know you've got a lot of female fans, so I'm just asking for them.
Do you? How do you know that?
Well, I've been to your fight. We'll get to that. I've seen. So just saying.
Huh?
Just saying. Okay, so he wants to skip that question. So we'll just skip. Take whatever you want from that, ladies. Okay. So let's get into the boxing then. So we spoke a little bit about this. Of course, you said that you were interested in different sports. So what made you certain that, you wanted to be a boxer? Was there a certain experience that you had that got you into boxing, or did you just kind of fall into it? What was it?
To be honest, boxing is something that I just always was around. I enjoyed when I was younger. I used to just go to the boxing gym. I never really like compete or take it serious in that aspect.
Mhm.
I was like just boxing. I liked it for the sparring aspect. I grew up, to be honest, like when you're talking about sports, I grew up watching boxing. In my household was not football. So my dad didn't
Okay.
watch football, he watched boxing. So me and my sisters would always watch late night boxing, box office back then. It was cable boxes. We'll be up watching Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis's,
Yeah.
the Eubanks Benz and Prince Nassim, all of them box office days.
Mhm.
That was what we used to do. Obviously, it evolved onto the Floyd Mayweather era, etc., etc. So I always grew up around it, and my mom didn't want me to box, so she said it's always for airheads. at first. She
Mm.
realized afterwards, disclosure, that it wasn't. She just thought it was fighting until she
Yeah.
came and watched it, and she said, "Oh, I've seen the art of it now." Um, but my cousin actually was going, and me and him used to do everything together. And so he was going, so I said, I'm going to follow him down. The summer he stopped, I carried on. Had another cousin boxing in the Lynn. So I went down there, I used to spar with him. We used to go, I used to be there for a while,
Mm.
sparring down at the Lynn. Then not too long later, I stopped boxing. The head coach from there left, so I stopped boxing. Then when he opened his own academy, I went back to boxing and started training with him. And that's when I decided to start competing and taking it more serious. Um, and then yeah, now we're here.
Amazing. Wow. So your family were, boxing lovers, so it makes sense why you grew to love the sport, because you grew up in a
Yeah,
boxing loving family, and I'm sure now your mum is a big supporter of boxing as well.
of course. I think she always did like boxing as well, but she was, in
Mm,
terms of, she watch it here and there. She wasn't like
yeah,
massive on it, but yeah, she'd watch it here and there.
yeah. Nice. So growing up then, who was your favorite boxer and who's your favorite boxer now? Has it changed? Is it the same?
Yeah, I think it's changed a lot in terms of, as you grow in the sport, sometimes having an understanding of it sometimes can not be a good thing, in
Right.
a way of, you start seeing some of the guys you thought was really good, you start watching their flaws sometimes more than
Okay. Hmm.
anything. You start thinking, oh, this guy's the best boxer ever, and then you start watching him, you're like, he does that wrong, he does that wrong, he does that wrong, and you're like,
Yeah.
so now it's a bit hard for me to choose. There's a few fighters in this era that I have liked
Mhm.
coming through. I did like Terence Crawford. I do think Shakur's a good, Stevenson's a good fighter.
Yeah.
Um, before that, it was probably Floyd Mayweather,
Mhm.
Roy Jones Jr. Before that, um, obviously the Nassim era was always good as well. But these are some of them are for entertainment factors. But when we're
Mm.
talking about for quality of skill wise, guys like Lennox Lewis was very untouchable. That he's not. The thing is, when you're
Right.
such a good boxer
Yeah.
and you're a purist boxer, sometimes you might not be the best crowd pleaser because you're
Yeah.
doing your job too well.
Right.
So like the guys who make mistakes and who can
Mhm.
punch are more what the fans like because they see action. But when
Mm.
a man knows what he's
Mhm.
doing in there too well, like a Floyd or a
Right. Right.
Crawford, the fans don't buy into it
Yeah,
because
they
they're not
find it a
getting
bit
hit
more
enough.
right. Yeah.
So yeah,
No, I like that. I definitely agree. Yeah, I think people always want to buy into the boxer, not just the boxing. They don't want you too perfect. Maybe I feel that boxing fans maybe feel like they can relate to people that are flawed as well. So that makes sense.
but I know what it is. You just want to see
Mm.
action, and I can be guilty of it
Yeah.
myself sometimes. If I go to a boxing show and the
Mm.
guy's boxing and moving, I'm like, I just want to see a knockout. Just get
True.
stuck in because you don't care
Right.
about his health.
Yeah.
Because when you do care about his health, but you don't care to that degree because you're here to for entertainment person for a
Right.
show. He's not your
Exactly.
friend. He's not
Yeah.
nothing to do with you. So you
Hmm.
just want to see blood and guts. So
Yeah.
when I'm in there, I understand why the fans sometimes, if I'm boxing and moving, they just want
Yeah.
to see me get hurt. They want to see me
Yeah.
just have a tear up. If I've got one eye closed and
Mhm.
he's got two, it's a great night.
Yeah. So it's an interesting one though, because it's kind of, uh 50-50 with what they want, because sometimes if you get a KO in the first or second round, people are like, oh, it ended too quickly. So it's like, which one do you do? Do you
But
do
then you do that, fans are like, oh, he's a depends on the level of fight, but the fans still
true?
sometimes buy into it. You knock someone out in the
Mm,
first or second round, they just think you're the next big thing. And
true.
then when you struggle a bit, like they're like, oh, he is human. It's like, of course he's human. You got to
Right.
look at like when AJ first had the
Yes.
Klitschko fight, it was
Hmm.
like, oh, he's human. He's gone down. He can be
Mm,
hurt. And it's
mm,
like they don't understand. They're human like you. They just train.
exactly. They bleed
Yeah, they
exactly the
bleed the
same.
same.
They're not superheroes, although
Yeah,
you guys seem
some of
like you
us.
are, but you're real people. So
Yeah.
it's a good point to make. Okay, so of course, right now the light heavyweight division is very competitive. It's actually my favorite division. I love watching light heavyweights. I just feel like it's more action packed than any other division. I even prefer it to heavyweight. So, of course, with all the competition that's going on in this UK light heavyweight scene, would you say that you are the number one light heavyweight right now in the UK?
Right now, yeah. I feel like
Love that.
after me and Thing had a close fight,
Hmm.
And then I've now come on the way I came on leaps and bounds. I think like right now, yeah, I think I'll be definitely shown by the end of the year that I'm number one.
I love that because you didn't flinch at all. And that's what I like to see. You're confident. You're very
Yeah,
confident. I like that. Love the answer. Okay. So who would you say are the top three? So of course you put yourself as number one. Who would you say is number two and number three in the UK?
not sure. I think the only other person who's been in like obviously I've been in probably the most competitive fights in the light heavyweight division. And I'll say Boatsi's now, he's been in a couple good fights as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we had a close fight. Um, I'd have to put him in there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I can't really name the three to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be biased or thingy. That I think right now the light heavyweight division is shooken up. I think
Mm.
there's a lot to prove. Styles
Yeah.
make fights as well, so this guy
Yeah.
could beat this guy, but this guy could beat that guy.
Yeah.
So it's open right now. I think within the next 12 months to 18 months, we're gonna see who's who.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I think this year there's so many exciting fights coming up in the division that I think a lot of people will prove their point and where they stand. So I'm so looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So of course I remember being at your fight against Buatsi at the O2, and that was actually one of my favorite fights to be at because
Oh,
the atmosphere was so electric. Everyone was on their feet from start to finish. My two of my favorite parts were when I saw this young white boy just lift up this huge Jamaican flag, and he had it around his shoulders, and he was lifting it up, and I just thought that's so beautiful because he was embracing your culture. He was showing that he's there for you. And
yeah.
then of course your
Love
ring
that.
walk, when you came out to Who Dem and I was gully creeping, the whole atmosphere,
Come on.
it was just amazing. And can I say as well, it to me it felt like it did feel like the majority of people there were actually your fans because
Yeah.
yeah, everywhere was just Craig Richards. Everyone was roaring for you. So as I said, you've got a huge fan base. You really, really do. So, I think that that's something that you should be very grateful for. Your fan base really do show up for you. They don't play about you at all.
Yeah, I do. I do appreciate that they come out for me. They come out for me in numbers. And they come out
They
loud, and
do.
I'm grateful for it. I do. I'm
Mhm.
very grateful for the support I get.
Yes.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
no,
I'm sure
I've
that
got to
keeps you
be.
going, knowing that you've got that beautiful fan base. Um,
Yeah.
so I love that. I love that you came out to that song. So, would you say that your Jamaican heritage, has an impact on what songs you choose to come out to in your ring walks at all?
Yeah, I do feel like it because I feel like growing up, um, obviously you get different people from different cultures and different backgrounds and heritage.
Mhm.
Obviously, not everyone born here, British, etc. But everyone's got their heritage, and I feel like when you was young, a lot of people did embrace the Jamaican culture, whether you was Jamaican or not. It was
Yeah,
you listen to
true.
Jamaican music, you eat Jamaican food,
Mhm.
and I felt like over the time, I felt like a period of time where Jamaica kind of got blocked out. I felt
Mm,
like people decided for a while that Jamaican heritage isn't cool. And I
mm.
heard a lot of people coming out to like Afro beats, everyone was embracing their
Yeah,
culture.
right.
And I
Mhm.
noticed that Jamaicans stopped doing it. Like there was a shame to
Yeah.
like embrace because it wasn't the
Mm,
in thing at the time. So it's kind of like it
right,
went quiet. And I was watching and I was like, how come no fighters nowadays from the heritage of Jamaica
right.
actually embrace the culture
Yep.
anymore? And I was like, well, if no one's going to do that, I'm going to do that. And I said to my cousin that I'm going to come up with something from a Jamaican heritage
Love that.
because I feel like people shouldn't be ashamed that their heritage is Jamaican and Jamaican was cool and it's always is cool. So,
Exactly.
and I sat and I thought of it and I went through loads of songs from Movado to
Right.
everything and I went through the playlists and I just felt like Snowden was something that I always felt like I love that song, but I was just thinking it's just not maybe fitting for the crowds or for the shows I'm on,
Right.
etc. And then I thought when I was headlining, I thought this is the perfect time to
Hmm.
embrace it. And I obviously I'm someone who likes to. Um, it's not just about myself. As you say, I've got a lot of support fan base, so it was a thing where I needed to cater for the audience, and that's why I
Mm.
came out to Forever Young for some of the crowd, and then mixed
Yes.
into my Jamaican heritage to drop into Who Them. And I think the mix of the blend at the time was good, and I felt
It
like
was.
since then you see how many people from Jamaican heritage are coming out to Jamaican songs now.
Yes. I think I saw someone else do that. Was it Chevron Clark?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it was him. Yes.
yeah.
So you definitely did inspire, yeah,
And
other
a lot of boxers have come out to it, and a lot of them have messaged me and said, "I'm gonna come out to it because I saw your thing, and
really.
I would not ever highlight anyone, but a lot of fighters said they
Yeah.
noticed it and they wanted." So I said, I'm glad that people are now
Hmm.
feeling confident enough to come out and do what
Yeah.
they feel that they wasn't comfortable doing before.
Yeah, no, I definitely noticed that, and I was aware that you were the inspiration behind that. So yeah, it's great that you've kind of led the way, and I'm just looking forward to hearing more Jamaican music at fights coming up. So if you could choose one Jamaican artist to perform with you during your ring walk, who would you choose?
K-pop would be a good choice because of the Who them.
Yeah.
So if I could pick one, him, Mavado. No, I know I'm saying one, but there's so many.
It's all right. You can
Beres
listen to
passed
you.
away the other day, didn't he?
Who
Beres
passed away?
someone. I think Beres passed away the other day. Beres Hamilton.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said Movado. I was thinking, oh no.
No, no, no.
Oh,
Mavalo's still
okay.
around, but he's living in America now, I think, in Miami, living his
Mm,
best life.
yeah.
But yeah, someone like Capel and Mavado, I think, because of the era I grew up in, and I
Hmm.
remember when I used to go out before my boxing days, I'd go out to a couple parties.
Hmm.
Mavado and Vibes Cartels used to be the inspirations in the parties and stuff. So they would be
Definitely.
one like artists I would like to come out. I would have liked to come out to Mavado or Capel.
Nice. Well, we need to make it happen. So, Movado, I'm particularly speaking to you because I'm a fan. So,
Hey,
hopefully that can happen. I would love to see that. That would be amazing. What song do you think?
oh man, I got
You've
loads.
got
I can't.
so many,
Gangster
so
for Life is a
many.
good song. I thought.
Hope
Oh,
and pray.
Nevada's got too many.
Hope
Yeah,
and
he's got
pray.
too many. He's got too many.
Too many.
He's got too many.
Might have to do a mix. I have to do a mix for that one.
Yeah, I just have to mix. I thought about doing that as well.
Really? Oh, there you go. Look forward to it. So, would you like to rematch against Buatsi?
Yeah, of course. I think it'll always be a good fight. I think like we both got good assets for an exciting fight. Both can punch. Both got good chins. Both got boxing IQ. But I just think like since then, I think I've done a lot of development in the gym. I think I maybe around that period was a bit complacent, getting a little bit flat. And
Mhm.
now I'm coming on leaps and bounds. And I feel obviously he's grown as a fighter as well. And I just think everyone thought the first fight was exciting. I think this one will be a lot more exciting. I think I'd have a lot more to bring to the table this time. And I just believe this time we'll definitely be victorious. I think I was a bit too complacent and I could have gone through the gears more in some of these big fights. And I think now I can. I reckon I'm ready.
I would love to see it. I'll be there again, gully creeping again. So,
Come on.
um, so during your last fight against Crichton, which congratulations again on your win, you did a great job, as expected. Eddie Hearn mentioned at the end of that fight that he would like to see you on the Matchroom versus Queensbury 5v5 against Callum Smith. Is that a fight that interests you?
No, not against Callum Smith. He said instead of Callum Smith.
Oh,
Basically, he's got
sorry, not against
yeah.
Callum Smith. So instead of Callum Smith, so he wants you and I think Callum Smith, but
So he
he
wants me
wants
to be his
one
number
of you
one.
to be
So
against.
basically, obviously, me and Callum Smith are with Matchroom. So
Yeah.
he has to pick his number one. And he's basically saying that people have been mentioning Callum Smith in the 5 versus 5, but he would prefer
Yes.
me to be his number one over Callum Smith.
Right. Because I saw a few people saying that you had left Matchroom and that's why you weren't included. So I wondered if it was that, I don't know, Callum Smith, one of you was no longer with Matchroom. That's kind of narrative that I was getting. And that's kind
What were people making the assumption? Because I've moved to
of
Shane McGuigan because I was in the actual Matchroom gym in my
yeah.
career. So where you're in the Matchroom gym
Mm,
and then you're now at Shane McGuigan's gym,
mm.
people try and do maths. They put 2 plus 2 and make 5 all the time.
Right,
So what
okay.
they've looked at is most of Shane McGuigan's gym is with Boxer. You
Right.
got Adam Azim, Caroline, DeBar,
Hmm.
um, Diab Hassan, um, and obviously the Willem Smith, all
Hmm.
with thingy. So they're assuming
Mm.
that I've left Matchroom Gym and I'm going to leave the
Right.
promotion company and go and join Boxer. That
Right,
is the
right.
maths they've done in their head. But
Hmm.
I've never said that, and that was never the plan. So
Okay.
that was an assumption from the
Right,
crowd. And I
right.
noticed I saw a lot of media talking about, I bet he goes to boxer, I bet he goes to boxer now.
Mm,
I've had a great relationship with Matchroom since the start of my career. I've made my debut with Matchroom, and I've
mhm,
always been with Matchroom. We've got a great
right.
relationship, not just work wise as people.
Mhm,
So that was never the plan. So I think that was just an
right.
assumption from people. Then for Eddie to pick each weight and number ones, obviously Callum Smith is a top world class
Okay.
operator like myself. So they'll think, I wonder who'd pick. So he was just making it clear.
Right,
I've
right.
got two, and my first pick in the light heavyweight
Oh
is Craig.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was letting it known that you're his favorite.
Not
Right.
his favourite. I'm his number one pick. He
Number
feels
one is
confident with
favorite,
me
same
going
thing.
in.
Oh, what's it feel to be Eddie Hearn's favorite? Wow.
Oh, favourite. You're milking it.
Wow, that must be amazing. You must be on top of the world. But it's
Battery's
lovely that
clearing up.
but it's lovely that, he would say that he wants you there because I think that you've earned the right to be in these big fights in Saudi. So, if he's supporting that, then there's no reason why you shouldn't be a part of it. So,
Of course.
fingers crossed you'll
I
be
would
a
love
part
to
of
be a
that.
part of it. I would love to be a part of it. Like I'll embrace experiences like that
Hmm.
and get on the big platforms and go and deliver a good spectacle for the fans and go get the win for Matchroom as well as myself and push on.
No,
So yeah, so honor that he did say that.
yeah, no, absolutely. Because even the way that Saudi does things, it's just so exciting. It's different. Um, I saw, the Ngannou fight with Tyson Fury. It's just a whole big spectacle. And I think that, fights like yourself should get the opportunity to have that experience as well.
Yeah, of course.
So why
And
not?
it'll be the first time in history ever Frank Warren against Eddie Hearn. So if I can get a
Exactly.
part of that, there's never done anything like this in boxing.
Yeah,
So if I
exactly.
can be the first run out and be representing, it'll be an honor. Obviously, you never know, but if I did get the opportunity, I would love
Amazing. Well, it's out there now. Eddie wants you and you want the fight. So I guess it's happening.
that.
I guess it's
Get
happening.
anyone.
No, I love that. And of course, in the year prior to your fight with Buatsi in May 2021, you had your fight against Dimitri Bivol, and I still remember watching that fight as well because I was like, Craig is good. And one thing that I always said is that you have such a good chin, like you have a chin of granite. I would say like you have one of the best chins in the game. But I think that fight really, I guess, solidified your place in the division because I think sometimes you were overlooked or maybe underrated. But I think your fight against Bivol showed you have what it takes and you're fighting at the right level when you're fighting at world level. So, since that fight took place, of course, you've proven that you belong in the in the in world title fights.
Yeah.
But in terms of getting back there, who would you say are your next three opponents that you would really like to fight next?
Well, obviously, I needed to get someone. Well, obviously, Crichton was quite well ranked at the time to come back
Yeah.
in. People thought it was a bit of maybe a jumping out, a 21-month layoff out of injury, coming back to a fight like him.
Mm.
But I was confident in my skills of what I've been learning in the gym. And you've seen Crichton go against other opponents not too long ago. One guy on Sky,
Yeah.
and he went against Lyndon Arthur and gave them both hell for 10 rounds.
Mhm.
And I've come off injury, 21 months layoff, and gone out and knocked him out in 7 rounds. So it was kind of the right direction to show that I'm back on the scene and I mean business. Now it's now stepping the opponent up into a big fight, another 50-50, and win that. You don't know the opportunities that the doors can happen. There might be an
Right.
opportunity for a world title then. If not, maybe a final eliminator, either way. So one or two more, and I'm ready for that world title to get back in. I feel like I've got the ability I've learned in the gym. Now it's about putting it out there on fight night and practicing and implicating everything in real life case scenarios.
Mhm.
And once I can do that, with all the things Shane McGoon has been teaching me, I'm ready to go pick up these belts because these are the different percentages that I would just maybe just slip in the one. Because when you look at the
Mm.
scorecards, even against Dimitri Bivol, one of
Yep.
them was half a round short and the other one was 1 round short. And it's like,
Mm.
it's just in the balance. And it's like,
Mm.
Boatsy, they gave it to him by 1 round. It's like
Mm.
the balance again. It's like, where's the percentages you're missing? And
Mm.
went to the gym and I thought maybe there's an extra 5% to go. And Shane showed me I've got
Mhm.
an extra 40% to go. And I feel like I'm like now 20% there now from the last fight since I've been straight back in the
Right.
gym for a couple of weeks after my last fight. And the progress even today, a few more things clicked, and I was like, geez, this is going to be mad because
Mm.
I haven't been there that long. It's like been two
Yeah.
months, and it may be 4 months or 3, 4, 5 months more till I'm fighting again. I've got all that time to be learning and implicating
Yeah.
this. It's gonna. Bad for the division.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's great that of course you've got a trainer in Shane that can recognize, what you need to work on and support you with getting there. So, I'm sure you're just going to continue to keep growing and building until we see you again in those world title challenge fights. So, looking forward to that. So, I know that you're aware that I have this amazing fantasy fight that I'd like to see. Um, it's Richards versus Richards, promoted by JD Richards.
Why do you want to see that fight? I
I don't
don't
know.
know why you want to see it.
I just really, really think that you would make a great fight, just in terms of the
Why
skills that you
though?
both have.
Stylistically or just because our last
Yeah,
name?
stylistically, but also it would just be very marketable as well.
Because Richards versus Richards. You just
Yeah,
like it for the last names.
and then I should do the face off. But I think that because I'm a Richards as well, I have the right to say this fight needs to happen. Richards versus Richards. I think that'd be great. So I'm just putting
That's
it out
that's
there.
that's in-house family fights.
I know, and I know I said I wasn't going to do this, but I just
This is
think it would be
wrong.
great.
This
So
is wrong on every level.
just consider it. Consider it. You don't have to
If I
agree.
found out it was my cousin and I fought him, I'd feel so bad. I might be banned from Jamaica.
Well, you have to fight before you discover that you're family, and then it'll be fine.
It's wrong. Like
So
a
yeah,
guy
that's
gonna
a
meet a
fight.
girl not showing if it's his cousin or not. It's wrong.
So that's of course a fight that I would love to see. Um, so yeah, that's my fantasy fight. So I hope that it does happen at some point, as I think you're both great, and it would just be a blockbuster. But essentially, yeah, those were all the questions I have for you, really. And I feel like, I've learned so much more about you and your journey today. And I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what's next for you because, like I said, I've been watching you for a good few years now. And again, you're just getting better. I feel like, if you can acknowledge those percentages that you need to work on and work on them, there's no reason as to why you shouldn't be, a world title holder one day.
Yes,
So
I'll be world champion soon.
yeah, and
100%. I can't
and then
leave
I'll be telling
without
people
that
that
belt.
then I'll tell people we're related.
That belt needs to come home. Yeah, then you'll be related, huh?
But yeah, I'm just wishing you the very best. I will continue to support
Appreciate it.
and to come to your fights, and I look forward to seeing Movado come out at one of your next
Come on.
fights. But it's
I
been a
appreciate
pleasure.
your time and I appreciate your effort. I
Thank you
appreciate
so
your
much
support
for
too.
joining the podcast, and we will speak soon. Take care.
Speak to you soon.
See you.
Thank you.
Bye.